Hi guys, and welcome to part 2 of the yampuff page that we've been working on. We're using the Brutfuner Pencils for this one. So as promised, I finished the skirt and I did the other two ponies to match the one that we had. I've just popped in to save some time most of the banner in orange and purple, and I've just done it alternately in bright orange 101 and lavender 123, and I've just done it as a solid colour, so it'll look very flat and plastic, as I was quite happy for it to look like that. Just finish those last couple off, so just one flat solid colour for those. Nice and thick, just brush off that excess. That's the banner flags done. Let me check you on. So for these little sticks that the horse is attached to, I'm just going to do them in a purple, I think. So we'll take that dark purple again, that lavender. Do we want a darker purple actually? Let's take dark purple 005. I'm going to put that dark purple on the bottom half of each one of these pieces and just fade it up. We'll do that for all of them. Darker at the bottom, fade it up, just to give the illusion that the bottom is rounded and dips in. And then we take that lighter purple and go over the top halves. Blend that in. And again, I'm just going to brush that off. I will get to this. I know I've changed it from the last one, and we will go through the skin, I promise, and I'll show you what I did and everything. So we've got these little hearts down here. Shall we go purple while we're here? I think we'll go for the purple. So I'm going to take that dark purple again, do the bottom of those little spheres. And the bottom of the hearts. A bit more on this side. I think I'll take that lavender, put that into the middle, just to blend into that very dark purple. And then we'll take that light purple, it's actually called light purple, and pop that in the top. Can't see my camera very well, so I am hoping that I'm out of the way enough for you to see that. And then with that medium tone, just feather that in a little bit so it's not so harsh. We're seeing some real progress now. Same again, brush that off. They're quite dusty, these new Brutfuners, and they'll easily kind of rub into the page when they're like that, so you need to be remembering to keep getting it off. I think we'll do this crown next. So I'm going to move you down a little bit. I think I want like a purple fabric, and then the crown can be orange. Let's do that. So we will again take the lavender, the light purple, and I'm going to pop this wisteria in the middle. I want to give the impression of a scooped in kind of look, so that will make the middle of those folds the lighter spot. So I'm just popping some of that lavender down. That's my darkest purple. Pop that in everywhere. Just give it an edge. And then, remembering we kind of popped our light source coming in this way from everything we have so far. So that would mean that this side will have a bit more darkness to it because it's coming down and away from the light. And this side will be a little bit lighter. So this side has more darkness, more depth. And this entire side will be quite dark. So I'm then going to take the middle colour that I've picked, my wisteria, and I probably won't add any of the lightest colour into this section that's away from that light source. Just going to pop that in. That's that side, and then we'll just bring that in a little bit, and as always feather that out. For these sides. And then taking my light purple and just popping that into the middle. Work those layers up a little bit to blend. And I will pop that over the top here. I'm then going to go back to the middle tone and just blend those in together a little. And back to that darkest one, and again just feather any harshness in. Add some depth to that. There we go. Just so you're happy with the colour you've got. And then where's my brush? Let's get rid of that dust. And then the rest, I think, well, I'll tell you what, we'll do the little gems in the purple. So same again, I'm just going to pop a little block of dark purple into the bottom half. I'm not so much fading that out, to be honest. So I've done lavender, and then I'll go with this light purple. Gems don't really react the same. There's a lot of things to light. The reflections can be a lot more harsh, and by making them so, you can help with the illusion of those sharp edges that gems would have. So I've done more like a half and half effect. With those. Tiny bit of a smudge there. I'll fix that. There we go. And then I think the rest we will use our oranges. So let's see now. I have my shallow yellow, my pumpkin yellow, and my bright orange. Again, I'm going to put my dark colour, my bright orange, in the bottom of this sphere. We create a little C shape in the darkest colour, and then in the medium tone, the pumpkin yellow, we finish the C off into a circle. I'm going to put my little bit of shallow yellow in the top half. And then back to the middle tone, that pumpkin yellow, just to blend that over and keep that highlight not in the middle but more into that upper centre half. Just feather that in a little bit so you've got that little hint of a shine. Again, that little black line, you can always pop some white gel pen onto things later if you like. Right, so again with our dark colour, going to come in for our darkness, going along the bottom on this left hand side, and of course this side for us is our shadowed area, so bringing that in a bit further. On this side, I think I'll probably go a little bit further along, and then we'll have a bit of darkness on the left hand side of these. Well, you're going to call them balls, haven't you? That's what they are. Little round crowny bits. Just to give the illusion of a shadow in the back. Then going to take my medium colour, my pumpkin yellow, to add a curvature to this side but that's less dark. I'm going to add that a little bit to the bottom of these circles. And I am going to come in a little bit further from this very dark orange. Feather that out as always. Feather the bottom. Yeah, and I think then with our shallow yellow, we'll do the middle of those circles now. Just go over the top and it'll blend those colours. They do melt a little bit, these, so they are nice in that way. I've no idea what this paper is. It's thicker than normal Amazon paper. Let's see what it says in the back. Yes, it does not say it's an Amazon printed book, so it is different paper. Not much thicker, but it is slightly nicer. Put it back in the middle, and then so with our light colour, then coming around into this section. Don't worry about the harsh edge, we'll fix that in a moment. Just get this lightness in. Okay, with my darker tone, I'm going to run that up the side of these gems underneath, just to give the illusion that they're not flat. That there is some depth to them when they're casting a shadow. And with our middle tone again, the pumpkin yellow, just going to soften this bottom orange section a little bit, blend things in. The smoothing and smushing stage of the colour. There we go. Just working that in between the two colours to make it look a bit more realistic, and to just soften any dark lines from that darkest orange. Blend things in. I have to stand, guys, to see what through the camera to see. Check that you're seeing what you need to be. Right. And then back to that lightest colour and just a final blend. And I think I'm happy with that. And again, brush off the excess. You can see we've got a little bit of smudging into the hair. I think she's going to be dark haired anyway, but I just, you know, it's habit. I like to get rid of the mess now. You never know what it might create later. Okay, so we'll finish off her dress, I think. My stomach's rumbling, can you hear it? Right, so let's do the top half of her dress. We had the salmon pink as a part of this, didn't we? So I'll add that in. Just going to do that bandeau because it's the easiest bit. We'll take our darkest orange from the back, bright orange, work that in, blend that out, go past the halfway point because you can see she's looking almost off to one side. And then with our medium pumpkin yellow, I'm going to bring that in from here just a little bit and then let that fade. A bit on this side, into underneath those hearts, and then I'm going to take the palest colour, the shallow yellow, and pop that in the midpoint. That's that bit. Okay, let's see, fill that light in. So, heart-wise, probably purple. Are we going to do purple? I'll do them at the end. Right, we're going to take our shadow colour again, our bright orange, 101. As always, guys, colours will be below. And we're going to give this some shape. So, obviously, we need to work in the shape of that bust. Do things lighter to start with while you're deciding what is where. she's angled off to one side, hence smaller, bigger for your C shapes, because that is the shape that you will get. You will see more from this side. And then I'm going to just pop underneath the arm and upper side in shadow. And then I'm going to take that medium tone, the pumpkin, and we'll then bring that around to create the rounded shape that you would have. We'll blend that into the other colour. Bring that up a little bit with the new tone of orange. And to be honest, you'd probably have a little bit just here. A little bit darkness in the side gives that the illusion of being round, if you remember. Have a little bit in here. And then we'll take our palest, the shallow yellow, pop that over the top. Little circles when you're blending. Always don't worry about those harsh lines at the moment. It's just what we've used to map our shape. I just want to get some layers of that paler colour down. And then we'll go back to that pumpkin yellow. And again, little circles when you're blending, and just work that into that paler colour, just to soften. Same again. So you can see how that big highlighted area really does kind of diminish in as you blend things into place, and looks a bit more in proportion. And again, I'm going to take the darkest colour and blend that into the edges of that medium as well. Again, just doing the same, just smoothing in those harsh edges from what we've mapped out. And it's a case of going back and forth a little bit until you're happy with the shape. Back to that lightest colour. Same again, little circles. Just blend that in. Kind of leaving the middle alone, so I'm not building up colour into the very centre highlight, just leaving it alone. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Right, brush it off. And you should have, essentially, if they look like her bust, you've done alright. You've set out what you meant to do. You got the shape you wanted. If they look a bit odd, you've messed something up. Your item should look what you're trying to create, and if it does, you did alright. Move on. Right, dark purple. Let's pop that in the bottom of these and off to this side. Feather that in. We then have that lavender for between. And again, just feathering that up and in. And light purple. Okay, this. I think it would be nice to make that look, you know, like a lace gauze fabric. But I've given her a difficult skin tone to do that, I think. Not sure a grey is going to blend into the orange we've chosen, so I'm just going to take the shallow yellow and lay that very pale colour, kind of deeper around the edges. If you can hear my husband shouting his head off, I apologise. And fireworks now, apparently. Honestly, there's no noise the entire time I'm sat until I decide to film. And I'm filming something that, you know, you can't just redo. And then all of a sudden, you got fireworks, dogs are going, husband shouting his head off. Somebody will knock probably in a minute. Right. I'm just going to go a little bit lighter in the middle. And we'll see what we can create from that. So we're going to have a bit of darkness in here. So I'm just going to deepen that colour up. Same in here. Underneath here. And I'll probably just leave it really simple. If I'd have gone for a normal skin tone, I probably would have put that down and then popped the peachy colour on top, just to give that hint of skin, but I really don't think I want to do that with the grey, if I'm being honest. Right, well, not so far to go now, guys. We are going to do the skin, because I haven't decided what to do with her hair. We've got light grey, and I've, to save time, popped a layer of light grey all over her skin. We've got our black again, and our lead grey, and was that all we had? Did we have another grey? And umber grey. Just going to sharpen one of those. Okay, let's see now. So I'm going to take the lead grey, which is quite dark but not quite as committed as this, and we'll do this arm together. So what I did is last time with you guys, I mapped the shadows in, so wherever would be slightly darker. Same again, even though this is in the light, just a little bit along the very edge to give that illusion that the arm is curling back on itself. And then in under here, and then it would be on the back of her arm here. Got a bit of a cast shadow maybe up the inside of her arm there, tiny bit this side, just a little hint of a darker colour up there. Some darkness on the bottom of that thumb, on the back of this hand, and then of course it's up to you if you want to add fingers. Okay, so then I'm going to take my black, and now I'm happy with my darker areas. Going to create a deeper black edge and then feather that in and up, really giving some shadow into that shape now. And then just feathering that out. So only a tiny bit on this edge in the light. And I don't know if you remember what I said in the other video, but if you're going to commit to shadows and depth, you need to have enough range for it to actually look Right, so you have to go to the very dark, into the very light. You just gotta go for it. Hit him again, tiny bit. And then I'm going to take that lead grey again and work that a little bit further up and in. So the bottom half of the arm is darker. So everything that's part of the underside of her arm is going to be that bit darker than to everything that's kind of that second half and sat above and in the light. Same in here. You can always use that to just soften that black edge as well if you like. As always, this was a very simple drawing with none of this added into it. You don't have to colour like this. You can just take a grey and colour her in. You know, it's all just personal choice in how you like to colour. There's not a wrong or a right. None is better than any other. It should be enjoyable. If this is stressing you out, I did not do my job properly. You should be enjoying the colour along. I'm just kind of blending that in now and building up that lighter area so that it matches that darker section, and it just helps to blend those colours in. And don't stress yourself out. It doesn't have to be perfect. Her hand looks like a horror, but nobody's going to be, you know, this close to this page, checking out every little detail. Once you've got it all together, she's going to look plenty well enough for me to be happy with her. Let's see how far in we are. So yeah, you just repeat the same thing. This time the darkness would be in the other side. And so that's all I did with the leg. Everywhere I just darkened that grey with the black and built it up just a little bit deeper than we'd created. So everything we'd laid down was the same, but I added my dark colours in once I was happier with, you know, where I'd place things. And just really created that proper shadow that's going to make kind of a flat drawing look like it has real dimension and shape to it. And these kind of pages they're good practice, but they are more difficult because, you know, like I say, this was a very simple drawing. There's very little put into this for you. whereas a grayscale would give you a lot of help, and I find grayscale for beginners is really, really good. Everyone, it puts them off, but I think when you're actually learning, grayscale teaches you how to do this. It puts it in there for you so that you can kind of get the confidence to create that shape for yourself. And it really isn't scary at all once you start. And, you know, just keep, once you're happy with it, and of course, you know, we can mess with this till the cows come home, but it gets to a point where you're better off just leaving it alone. You're just going to mess with it to that point where it doesn't look right. And really, if you'd have just waited till more of it was finished, it would have looked fine. So I'll take my own advice. I'm going to put the pen down. I'm going to put the pencil down. We're going to stop. Hopefully that looks like an arm, 3D, instead of her flat arm. I suppose, will you guys want me to do the face with you? Did I give you enough there to feel like, you know, you just want to start adding the shadows in from the hair? More this side than this side, because this is where the light's coming from. If you want to give her a cheekbone, just think about where you know, your own makeup course. I'll be honest, with the face shape they've given you, I wouldn't play around with that. I'd just put a little bit more. Can you see how she's added these shadows in for you? I'd just build that bottom of the jaw up a little bit more and then leave her alone and just stick with the shadow, because they've given her quite an odd face shape and you'll really struggle. You could put a little bit of darkness into the eyes, just above, just to give some depth to where the crease would be, and apart from that I'd leave it alone. Right, so I decided for fun I've got an orange and a purple, which is technically orange and metallic yellow, and violet and metallic blue, pentel dual metallics, which are basically, you just want a purple and an orange glitter gel. And then I've got a black glaze pen, because I thought that might be nice, but you could just use a black pencil or a black gel pen. And I'm going to do my swing in that, and I want to use my glitters for the confetti. So all of the big squares going to do in my orange, and and all of the little circles I'm going to do in my purple. Nice and easy. Really need to decide what I'm doing with that hair. And then the swing is going to be this black glaze sakura jelly roll. It gives like a 3D shine effect when it dries. And I thought might look kind of cool. So we'll build that up. Down there. And I'm going to do the swing seat in that as well, I think. So we really are just left with this hair, aren't we? I was pretty tempted to do it in black glaze and really give it like this plasticky, shiny sort of look, but I'm not going to. I think we'll do a black. I'm going to take the black 001 and same as always, going to add some shadow in, but this time I'm going in with quite a bit of pressure, really building that oil pencil in. I'm going to kind of map a little spot that I want to highlight. I might do the same just rough for now, and I'm going to colour, really burnish that straight in. So you can see, nice and simple, just really lay that black down. And for your highlight, because I do want her to look plasticky, I'm going to leave quite a, I'm not going to fade it in, I'm not going for a realistic kind of highlight. I really am going to leave just a shaped white section, like you're seeing the light reflect on the plastic. Well, at least that's what we hope it's going to look like. Do keep you know, brush your hand off. Ugh. Need to not brush that into my... This is why you do your embellishments last, people. Not get that on my glaze pen. Just needing that edge where we've come out a little bit. And yeah, I'm just going to really add a very dark hairdo. So I'm sure you can kind of take it from there. I'm just filling that in. Leave another little highlight. I might actually make that. Oh, I didn't really need to bother doing that, did I? Because I'm going to colour it in, but make it match the light pan a little bit more, and then I would colour all that in black. And what I will do is finish this page so that you can see it, and I will add it into the end. Hi guys, I just wanted to pop back in and show you the completed piece. So she is now finished. I did what I said and popped the little white lines in for you just in case you were interested in a little plastic highlight. And the hair, I added one extra stripe of white highlight into that hair because I don't know, I preferred it that way. And I've just darkened the edges of this gauzy dress piece with just that shallow yellow colour, and everything else has just been finished in the same way as the bits that I showed you. And I'm really pleased with how she turned out. Wasn't quite sure she was going to look a little bit creepy enough for the hashtag when we started, but I think she turned out quite unique and quite fun in the end. I'm happy with her. So that is the Brutfuner pencils. I've used some of the Pentel dual metallic, what's the word? Gel pens, and of course the Sakura glaze black. And then I just filled this rope in with a normal black fineliner just to finish that off. And yeah, I'm pleased with how she turned out, and she will pop up on Instagram sometime soon, I'm sure. So guys, apart from that, thank you very much for watching the videos. If you did, I hope you liked them. Even more, hope you followed them along, and if you did, do show me your pages. You can either email them to me or message me on Instagram with them. I love to see them. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you guys.